For the past 10 years, this woman quietly sold vegetables in the village, and the villagers had no idea that she had 3 very special daughters-in-law. Then one day, when several luxury cars stopped by her vegetable cart, the villagers discovered her true identity. In fact, all 3 of her daughters-in-law are very powerful and famous. Her eldest daughter-in-law is the daughter of the very wealthy and influential Shin family. The second daughter-in-law, who is also extremely wealthy and influential, is a top-level Hollywood actress, and the third daughter-in-law is not only a world champion boxer, but also one of the 2 eldest members of the Shin family, who are directors as well. This woman would secretly come to the village to sell vegetables without telling any of her 3 daughters-in-law. She did this because it was her husband's village, and she had been waiting for her husband for 30 years. The story begins 30 years ago, when her husband left for the city to earn more money, and he left his elderly parents in her care. The woman even hid her pregnancy from her husband so that he wouldn't worry. But after going to the city, her husband disappeared and never came back. 30 years passed, and the woman raised her 3 sons alone, who later became very successful. Their research caught the government's attention, and then all 3 brothers were sent to a secret base for scientific experiments. Now only the 3 daughters-in-law and the mother-in-law were left at home, but the woman still quietly kept coming to the village to sell vegetables, waiting for her husband to return. One day, a call came from the mayor. He said that her husband had returned and was coming to get her. She hurried home and, full of joy, opened the door to her old house. But just then, an unknown woman pushed her. That unknown woman was her husband's mistress. The truth was that 30 years ago, her husband had betrayed her and left. Now he had come back only to divorce her so he could marry that mistress. This woman had never imagined that after waiting for 30 years and holding the whole family together through so many hardships, her husband would betray her like this. That man didn't feel he was wrong at all because his mistress had given him a child and had invested all her money to help him start his business. The mistress mocked the woman, saying, "All you ever did was sell vegetables. You never helped your husband at all." The man looked at the woman in her poverty and weakened state and began to think that she was no longer worthy of being called his wife. He gave her $100,000 and told her to quickly sign the divorce papers. The woman refused to take the money. So in anger, the man called the bodyguards so they could force her to sign. The mistress said with attitude that now the difference is clearly visible. Their illegitimate child is soon going to marry the second daughter of the Chen family, which is the richest family, and now they will become relatives of the Chen family. The mistress slapped the woman hard and told her to sign quickly. If they're in a good mood, maybe they'll give a little money in exchange for 30 years of hard work. The woman freed herself, tore up the divorce contract, and told her husband off, saying he didn't have a shred of humanity left in him. The mistress then pointed at the photos of that woman and her 3 sons, saying that they are legitimate children whom she had hidden. The woman explained that all 3 children were hers and that man's. But the man didn't believe her and in anger threw the photos on the ground. The woman cursed him, saying his heart was made of stone. The bodyguards dragged her out of the house and threw her outside. Meanwhile, the 3 daughters-in-law were searching for their mother-in-law in the village. They were knocking on every door, but because the village was so big, they couldn't find her. The 3 were extremely worried, like ants on a hot griddle. As soon as the woman was thrown out of the house, she quickly sent her location to her 3 daughters-in-law and called them over. The 3 daughters-in-law became suspicious that